Good evening. We begin tonight with a CTV News exclusive. An Ottawa family is sharing their story for the first time as they try to cope with the unimaginable grief of losing their young child. 4.5-year-old Eliyah died after falling from the window of a Sandy Hill apartment building Monday night. And a warning, the details in this story may be distressing to hear. CTV's Katie Griffin starts us off.
He loves animals, he loves nature, he loves He loves animals, he loves nature, he loves painting.
This is how Eliyah Pirani's parents remember him.
He was a very, very nice little boy. He's a gifted guy who was given to us by God, by our prayers.
Their grief so raw.
He was such a nice brother. He was so caring of her sister. I don't know.
The 4.5-year-old who loved dinosaurs died Monday after falling from the window of the family's 6th-floor unit at this Sandy Hill apartment building. His mom, Sajida, says they don't typically open the windows, but it was a hot day.
I found why is it so quiet suddenly, and why there's extra lights coming in the building. Why it quickly fell down. What happened? Where is Eliyah? I called him and I saw him there. I shouted. I called 911 immediately.
The family says the window in Eliyah's bedroom fully opened, while others in the unit did not. Rental company Homestead says window restrictors are a requirement and should not be altered, and that it had not received any notice from residents in the impacted unit regarding any issues. The day after the fatal fall, Homestead said it would be inspecting all units to secure the windows, including this one.
Before this happened, that window fully opened.
Fully opened. It had just had the net. They came and they just safeguard the window. And after they finished their job, another person came in to just check around the apartment, again, without any coordination with the parent.
These are the things that should not happen. Like, this is very unbelievable that we had to experience this.
The family's heartbreak deepened by the thought some could think they're to blame.
We were not irresponsible parents. That's it. We were caring parents. This is what people they need to hear.
Loved ones rallying around the family after a tragic, unimaginable loss.
Friends, family is all a person needs at this moment, because heart is broken and loneliness is the most prominent thing that we feel.
I wish no one go but experience what I have seen. I wish it for no one. It's unbearable for sure.
Katie Griffin, CTV News.
And a warning tonight about a possible second flood peak with heavy rain this evening. A rainfall warning is still in effect for both Ottawa and Gatineau, with Environment Canada calling for up to 50 millimeters of rain in some areas. Floodwaters had been receding in Gatineau after several dry days. However, the river is expected to begin rising yet again, with officials warning of a possible second flood peak in areas from Pembroke to Ottawa and Gatineau to Montreal. And with that, let's take our first check on the weather forecast. The rain is pounding some parts of the city still. Jackie.
Well, the bulk of this weather system has really moved through much of eastern Ontario. Still getting heavy rainfall into the overnight. Likely going to clear by the time you head out the door tomorrow morning, but it's going to be quite damp and cool as well. You could already see that there is a risk of flurries as well as freezing rain moving through closer to Maniwaki, but not here for eastern Ontario. Mainly cloudy skies for the evening into the overnight for a Thursday into Friday. Temperature-wise, though, we're only getting to a daytime high of about 11 degrees. Again, we've got those northerly winds moving in as well. So we are cooling down, but we will see a break from that rainfall by the time the weekend rolls around.
Ottawa Senators captain Brady Tkachuk had an excellent reason for passing on locker cleanout day, but he could not avoid the postseason questions after the team's early exit. Today, saying he's frustrated by the repeated speculation about his future with the team. Here's CTV's Dylan Dyson.
Hey, Brady. Good. Frustration was the word of the day for Ottawa Senators captain Brady Tkachuk. Frustration that his team was swept out of the playoffs, and frustration he is once again having to answer about his future with the team.
I feel like I've answered this hundreds of times, that none of that I feel like I've never shown. I've never said. None of those things ever came out of my mouth, and quite honestly, it's just getting frustrating. It's becoming a distraction.
Brady missed the traditional exit meeting with his GM because of the birth of his daughter, but Steve Staios had his back Monday, addressing speculation about Brady's future with the Sens.
It's nonsense is what it is, and it depends on what week and what fan base it's coming from.
I have been fully committed to this team, to the city, and it's just becoming a distraction, frustrating to deal with.
Tkachuk still has 2 years left on his contract with the team and isn't eligible to sign a contract extension until next year.
The extension talk is just, I mean, like you said, it's a year away, so that's something that you physically can't even do anytime soon.
Online criticism started after an Olympic win and White House visit in February and ramped up during a seemingly lackluster playoff performance for the Senators. When asked to reassure fans about his commitment to the team, Tkachuk said speculation about his future elsewhere doesn't originate with him.
I've never said it, teams never said it, but I've always believed in this team. I've always, believed, playing for this city, and the city has always been good to me.
Rising above it all, Tkachuk closed out on Wednesday with praise for Sens fans.
I just want to say, thank you from the bottom of my heart for the support that you guys had for our team, myself, my family, all year.
Dylan Dyson, CTV News.
Cornwall is set to lose one of its food banks at a time of record food insecurity. The Salvation Army says it's closing its food bank and church in the eastern Ontario city, sparking concerns from both clients and nearby centres that are already grappling with growing demand. The food bank and church are located at 500 York Street in Cornwall, and CTV's Peter Sperling has the details.
It's a staple in the neighborhood that Cornwall residents like Eric Wall turn to for help.
They've been very good with me in many different situations that I've had.
But the Salvation Army is closing its food bank in Cornwall this spring.
It just is a huge shock for all of us here.
In a letter posted on social media Tuesday afternoon, the Salvation Army says after a careful operational review, a decision was made to close the local church and community services as of June 7th to steward resources responsibly.
We don't know what we're going to do.
I got 2 brides.
Residents and clients concerned.
I'm sad about it.
Too bad for people on the street, really.
I am absolutely concerned. So that's one less food bank for people to access.
It's also worrying for the nearby Agape Center, which, like many food banks across the country, is already facing growing demand.
Before Christmas, we were around 3,400. And since January, we are at 4,000 people per month just for our food bank alone.
First reaction was shock. Then the questions came. So the questions for me are, where are these people going to go? Do people use this service?
Cornwall Councillor Todd Bennett says other area food banks are also stretched.
I'm really concerned about how some of these people are going to make it to the end of the month.
Peter Sperling, CTV News.
Kingston police continue to investigate after 2 pedestrians were reportedly shot by an airsoft gun yesterday. According to police, one person was struck in the face with a projectile in the area of Russell and Patrick Streets at around 12:30. The second shooting happened nearby about 5 minutes later. Both victims suffered minor injuries. Police have not said whether these incidents were targeted or if any suspects have been arrested, but investigators do believe there is a risk to public safety. Do not believe, rather, there is a risk to public safety.
Oh, God. Oh.
An investigation into what sparked this massive 3-alarm fire at a popular yacht club in Toronto's West End is underway. Around 100 firefighters were called in to fight the blaze, which broke overnight. The flames gutted the clubhouse in the city of Toronto. It owns the land and recently decided not to renew the lease over claims the club harmed the environment. The Bank of Canada has now left the overnight lending rate at 2.25%, unchanged since October, which was when the last rate cut happened. Today's decision comes as the central bank warns of higher inflation in the short term. Higher oil prices linked to the war in the Middle East have propelled inflation as of late, and the central bank is predicting inflation for April to come in at around 3% before starting to decline towards the bank's 2% target by early next year. However, that is under the assumption that U.S. tariffs remain at the current rate and that oil prices drop to around $75 U.S. a barrel by mid-2027. Bank of Canada Governor Tiff Macklem says the key rate is probably at the correct level, but warns that could change if oil prices do not come down, as the bank is forecasting.
If energy prices go higher, and particularly if they stay higher for longer, there could well be a need to increase the policy rate to get inflation back to 2%. And really the message is, we're committed to ensuring that inflation does stay close to 2% over time.
The bank says there is little evidence to show that oil prices are affecting the costs of goods and services more broadly, with many businesses hesitant to pass along increased costs to consumers for now. Still, rent and food prices remain high. The Bank of Canada will make its next interest rate decision on June 10th.
Kids do not need to be on social media, and cell phones in school just take away from talking to your friends.
Ontario wants tougher tech rules in school and is considering a full ban on cell phones. We'll have those details right after the break. There's a live look through our Centennial Glass sky cam. It is 8 degrees right now. Ontario wants tougher tech rules in school and is considering a full ban on cell phones and new limits on social media for children amid growing concerns about mental health and safety. CTV's Tyler Fleming has the details.
Ontario is weighing a major shift, considering a full ban on cell phones in schools and new limits for kids using social media.
School isn't somewhere where you should be going on your phone.
High school student Eliyah Pirani says some restrictions make sense.
Because it can be very wrongfully used in general, especially when you're at an age where you don't understand what you're doing.
It's not healthy for our kids in our schools.
On Tuesday, the province's education minister said stronger measures could be coming as concerns grow over classroom distractions and the impact of social media.
I think the evidence is becoming more and more clear.
Manitoba is musing to ban social media and AI chatbots for kids under 16, while countries like Australia already have. Experts say it's a sign governments are finally acting, but enforcement can be a big hurdle.
Kids are very smart. If you tell them no, in their mind, they take that as a yes. They will figure out ways around the technology. The platforms themselves haven't changed. They're still as dangerous as they've always been.
Still, parents like Elena Plomp support tighter rules, but says the responsibility doesn't stop with government.
Kids do not need to be on social media, and cell phones in school just take away from talking to your friends.
We're just trying to bring that innocence, that play back to childhood.
Unplugged Canada, a growing grassroots movement, encourages families across the country to delay smartphone use, citing mental health benefits and a shift in how kids engage online.
And there's also just some real harms in terms of, cyberbullying and groups that are targeting youth and reaching them through these devices.
Still, some students don't think a ban will work.
Because the kids will only find other ways to find how to do it.
Tyler Fleming, CTV News.
Well, it feels like the rain just keeps on coming down. We do have more rain in the forecast, unfortunately, in the days to come, but a warm up as well. Jackie.
Well, we are anticipating 30 to 50 millimeters of rain moving through into these overnight hours. Rain at times quite heavy. Temperature-wise, 5 degrees for that overnight low. Tomorrow, a daytime high about 11 degrees. And yes, we do see a chance of some slight showers moving in the early parts, but for the most part, our Thursday will likely be mainly cloudy skies. Now, tonight's lows across eastern Ontario, Pembroke, Bancroft hovering close to the freezing mark, about 3 degrees in Pembroke, Bancroft 1 degree, 3 in Petawawa. And as we look to Montreal and Mont-Tremblant, temperatures looking around 6 to 8 degrees. Tomorrow's daytime highs will be closer to about 11 degrees, 10 in Pembroke, as well as 13 in Trenton, about 10 in Kingston, about 7 degrees in Maniwaki. Now, When we look towards our long-term forecast after Thursday and the heavy rainfall that's moving through, 7 a.m. for our Friday, mainly sunny skies is what we're going to start off with, but then we're going to see more cloud cover push through. And again, there's a slight chance that we could see some scattered showers moving through the region, particularly in Smiths Falls, Pembroke, and the Renfrew area. Again, keeping a close eye on this, but it should move fairly quickly. Now, a closer look at our 7-day forecast, temperatures averaging between 10 to 12 degrees, at least for the next 4 days. The chance of showers will also linger as well. We may even see a break on Sunday with a mix of sun and cloud, and then temperatures are going to start to warm up by the time we get to the early start of next week, 15, 16 degrees. But again, chance of showers will likely linger.
Thank you, Jackie. And the Ottawa Titans were out getting ready for their upcoming season today before the rain arrived. They were practicing under some gray skies at the Ottawa Stadium this morning. The spring training schedule is out. Friday's preseason game is closed to the public, but that's when they will take on the Sherbrooke Expos. Your first opportunity to catch them in a preseason game at home will be next Tuesday at 6:30, and they'll be taking on the Welland Jackfish.
And I'm like, hey, listen, you don't have to do this. Come with me. I'll try to help you out. And he was saying, no, I want to stay. I'm like, no, please. I begged him. I'm like, you need to come with me. Come.
An Ottawa bus driver recognized for saving the life of a man in crisis. We'll have more on his story just ahead.
Get the latest live local breaking news. Sign up now for our morning and evening CTV News Ottawa newsletter. The best local content from CTV News, Your Morning Ottawa, and News Talk 580 CFRA. Get it all in one place. Sign up now at ctvnewsottawa.ca. The CTV News Ottawa newsletter is brought to you in part by CAA Business.
It's a sure sign that summer is not too far away. The National Capital Commission is getting ready for another season of swimming at Dow's Lake. It has reinstalled the floating dock, but it is still too early to swim. The NCC says it will begin testing the water on June 1st and will provide an update on when it's safe to dive in. Well, as problems persist with both the trains and the buses for OC Transpo, it is the operators and drivers who often take the brunt of rider frustrations. But in the middle of all that, acts of courage from the drivers who go above and beyond. CTV's Eliyah Pirani has one driver's story.
It wasn't part of the plan.
The Route 44 coming from Walkley, turning right on Albiana.
But for OC Transpo bus driver Yasha, he knew that helping was part of his job.
And that's when I saw a gentleman laying down in the middle of the road over there, which did not seem normal.
This past September, during the first morning run of the 44 Herdman, Yasha rushed to help a young man in distress.
And that's when he told me he wants to take his life.
With compassion, Yasha convinced the man to get off the road, and he helped him onto the bus.
I'm like, hey, listen, you don't have to do this. Come with me. I'll try to help you out. And he was saying, no, I want to stay. I'm like, no, please. I begged him. I'm like, you need to come with me. Come. And that's when he actually trusted me.
Passengers were transferred onto another bus, and Yasha stayed with the man until help arrived.
The first thing they teach you that the emergency plan is there for you.
In his years of experience, Yasha says this isn't the first time that he's had to call in a safety concern. But he says he knows exactly what to do because OC Transpo provides all of their bus drivers with the necessary safety training.
As a bus operator, you're the eyes and the ears on the road.
Yasha was one of nearly 60 OC Transpo employees honored for their outstanding actions on the job at a ceremony on Tuesday.
Safety is one of the hardest things to recognize employees on because when it's done right, nothing happens. You know, there's no collision, there's no injury, there's no headline.
Yasha says he understands frustrations from passengers about the system's problems.
I try to do best as I can, like all the other bus drivers.
After 14 years on the job, this isn't the first safety pin that Yasha wears proudly. But the man he helped is always on his mind.
I probably will give him my phone number and say, if anytime you need anything, call me. If someone you need to talk to, call.
A job he says he is honored to do.
Wearing this uniform, it's an honor, and it's an honor to serve the city.
Eliyah Pirani, CTV News.
These charges include a newer offense under Canadian law, possession of computer data for the purpose of manufacturing or trafficking firearms.
Still ahead, police laid charges after seizing several 3D printed firearms. Well, the city is putting a plot of land up for sale in the hopes of building a new health hub in Stittsville. The municipal land is located on Maple Grove Road between Huntmar and Terry Fox Drive. The city has issued a request for expression of interest to develop a health hub on the site. The second step would be a request for proposals. The goal is to attract a team of physicians to the hub. A Toronto man is accused of making 3D printed handguns, and he's now facing a number of charges in connection with a firearm manufacturing and trafficking probe. Police say the investigation was focused on addressing the issue of privately manufactured firearms known as ghost guns. CTV's John Musselman has more on Project Cluster.
All the guns on this table at Toronto Police Headquarters were made using a 3D printer. They function just like a traditional firearm, and criminals use them because they can't be traced like a gun bought in a store or smuggled across the border.
You have the 3D printed frames, and then you have other components that are purchased, and when combined, you get a fully functioning firearm.
Toronto Police seized these weapons as part of Project Cluster. It was launched in November 2025. After police received a tip from the RCMP about suspicious online ads on a firearms website. A suspect was arrested a short time later. The accused has been identified as 28-year-old Toronto man Brian Narciso. He's facing charges including manufacturing a prohibited firearm, firearm trafficking, and reckless discharge of a firearm endangering life. The last charge is related to at least 6 of the guns being fired in a secluded park area near Caledonia and Lawrence Avenue West. That happened between June and October of 2025. More than 100 shell casings and spent rounds were found in what investigators believe was an area used to test out these guns. In one incident, a nearby business was hit by a stray bullet. Police refer to these weapons as ghost guns, and they are becoming more common.
I can tell you in the last 6 months, we've seized approximately 10 functional 3D printed and about 16 3D printed frames.
These charges include a newer offense under Canadian law, possession of computer data for the purpose of manufacturing or trafficking firearms. That's significant. It reflects how policing and the law are adapting to an evolving threat.
The accused made his first court appearance in February. Toronto police say this is not unique to Canada. Ghost guns are an issue right across the country. John Musselman, CTV News.
Still ahead, how some goofy animal shots got people smiling and voting for their favorites.
The National Capital Region is jam-packed with incredible experiences you don't want to miss. Hey, I'm Sanaya Taylor, your iHeartRadio Weekender, powered by Barhaven Ford. Get the inside scoop on all the biggest and best events every Thursday, Friday, and Saturday on CTV, Move 100, Pure Country 94, TSN 1200, and News Talk 580 CFRA. iHeartRadio Weekenders is powered by Barhaven Ford, Ottawa's newest and largest Ford dealership, and Ontario's #1 Ford EV dealer.
There's one last live look through our Centennial Glass sky cam. It is 8 degrees out there right now, and the rain is still falling in parts of our region as many of us, myself included, wait for it to stop. Jackie.
Well, it'll be a cool start to the morning. You may want to keep your umbrella close because there is still a chance of showers moving through the early part of our day. 5 degrees to kick things off. And a reminder that a rainfall warning is in effect for Wednesday night into tomorrow morning. A look at our 7-day warming up to about 11 degrees. And this will stay consistent as we head into the weekend.
And finally for us tonight, a silly image of a seabird having a rough day is the People's Choice winner in the Nikon Comedy Wildlife Awards. Photographer Allison Tuck titled this, "Which Direction is My Nest?" And I think that's pretty fitting. She captured the shot during a windy day at Bempton Cliffs in Yorkshire, England. It snagged easily the top spot out of 41 submissions. And these are some of the other entries. We saw a squirrel having a bad hair day. There was that hornbill that was in a hurry. The awards have been around since 2015. The 2026 competition is underway, and it is now accepting entries through June. But some of those shots are pretty awesome. I love that one. That's like a punk rock looking squirrel. It's not a phase, Mom. That's a great one. I like that. That's CTV News for this Wednesday, April 29th. Thank you so much for watching. CTV News continues online anytime on our website, ctvnewsottawa.ca. Have a great night.